Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is March 28th, 2024. Today I'm going to recap the NBA and the NHL from yesterday, look ahead to everything today. And then we'll recap NIT, CBI, CIT, and look ahead to the Sweet 16 today in the NCAA tournament. MLB opening day, all picks for the games today. Should be fun. And then soccer, we'll recap Survivor if we have time. News and notes, and best bet. We'll start the NBA. We will recap a loaded window from yesterday. Look ahead to only 2 games tonight. Hornets over the Cavs, 118-111. Warriors over the Magic, 101-93. Nets over the Wizards, 122-119 in overtime. Hawks over the Blazers, 120-106. That should have been my over pick instead of this. Clippers over the Sixers, 108-107. Oh, it was 214.5. So maybe I did win that over. As Kawhi Leonard made a block at the rim at the end of the game. That was pretty awesome. Knicks over the Raptors, 145-101. That's crazy. Bulls over the Pacers, 125-99. Lakers over the Grizzlies, 136-124. T-Wolves over the Pistons, 106-91. Rockets over the Thunder, 132-126, no T. Spurs over the Jazz, 118-111. And the Suns over the Nuggets, 104-97. So that's a big win for the Phoenix Suns on the road over Denver. 2 games tonight. 7:30 Celtics-Hawks from Atlanta. My line is Hawks by 12, total 235 and a fifth. And so the Celtics are giving a whopping 17.5 on the road, total 226. I like the over. I'll take over and Hawks in the same game parlay, but I like over better. And at 8 o'clock on NBA TV is Bucks Pelicans. My line is the Bucks by 1.5, total 232 and a fifth, and it's 2 and 225. I also like the over despite no Brandon Ingram for the Pelicans. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. Yesterday was a small window, and tonight's a big window. Unless they took a backseat a little bit because of baseball and the Sweet 16. Sens over the Sabres 6-2, and Lightning over the Bruins 3-1. So big slate tonight. 7 o'clock, Caps Leafs. The Caps, as of right now, are the second wild card, which is incredible. Spencer Carberry has to be up there for Coach of the Year in the NHL this year. Obviously the Jack Adams Award. And Carbs is going back to Toronto. That's where he was. He was there an assistant for Sheldon Keefe. So they're minus 188. The Caps are plus 155. Over under 6.5. Over is minus 104. Under is minus 118. Caps plus 1.5 is minus 160. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 132. I like the over in that game. Flyers, Habs. Flyers minus 146. Habs plus 122. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Flyers minus 1.5 is plus 168. Habs plus 1.5 is minus 205. That's a tough one. But I'm going to go with under 2.5 Canadians goals at plus 108. Blackhawks, Senators. Sens minus 196. Blackhawks plus 162. Over under 6.5. Over is even money. Under is minus 122. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 150. Sens minus 1.5 is plus 125. I like the over at even money. Isles, Panthers. Panthers minus 200. Isles plus 164. Over under 5.5. Over is minus 140. Under is plus 114. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 146. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 122. Panthers puck line. Blue Jackets, Penguins. Pens minus 225. Jackets plus 184. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. Jackets plus 1.5 is minus 128. Pens minus 1.5 is plus 106. I'm going to go with the over. 7:30 Red Wings, Canes. Canes minus 255. Red Wings plus 205. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 104. Unders minus 128. Wings plus 1.5 is minus 120. Canes minus 1.5 is even money. This is a good opportunity for the Canes to get within one of the Rangers. The Rangers, the only team to clinch so far. And we have 5 teams eliminated, 1 in the East in Columbus and 4 in the West in Zona, Anaheim, Chicago, and the Sharks. 1 team clinched, and that's the Rangers. But there's a chance Carolinas could still win this division. This is their opportunity. The Rangers have a hard opponent. We'll get to it in a second. But I'm going to lay the puck line with the Canes, considering how the Red Wings have faltered. Flames, Blues at 8. Blues minus 132, Flames plus 110, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Flames plus 1.5 is minus 225, Blues minus 1.5 is plus 184. So both of these teams are out of it. Flames money line plus 110. Sharks Wild. Wild minus 385, Sharks 3-1, over under 6.5, overs plus 106, unders minus 130. Sharks plus 1.5 is plus 126. Wild minus 1.5 is minus 152. I'm going to go with over 2.5 Shark goals at plus 142, but I don't feel good about it. Maybe there's a garbage time goal in there. Golden Knights Jets. Really good game. Jets minus 126, Vegas plus 105, over under 5.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Vegas plus 1.5 is minus 230. Jets minus 1.5 is plus 188. I like the under. All right, game of the night. 9 o'clock. Rangers Avs. Could help decide the Preds trophy. I think the Avs are favored and should be favored. They are. Minus 156. The Rangers are plus 130. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 184. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 152. I think we're seeing Jonathan Quick in this game because Igor was bad against the Flyers. And that was Igor's first bad game since the outdoor game against the Islanders. But I am going to go with the over because I want to pick the Rangers, but I'm going to go with the over. Kings-Oilers, another decent game. Oilers minus 150, Kings plus 125, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Kings plus 1.5 is minus 196, Oilers minus 1.5 is plus 162. I like the over at plus money. 10 o'clock Stars Canucks. That's another really good game. But I think Rangers Avs is the best game because that could be the Stanley Cup preview. Stars Canucks could be the Western Finals. Stars minus 118, Canucks minus 102, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Stars minus 1.5 is plus 205, Canucks plus 1.5 is minus 255. So 2 battle for the President's Trophy games going on tonight, which is awesome. I'm going Vancouver minus 102 at home. I just think that they're getting disrespected. Preds Coyotes. Preds minus 164, Coyotes plus 136, over under 6.5, overs plus 110, unders minus 134. Preds minus 1.5 is plus 150, Coyotes plus 1.5 is minus 182. Preds puck line. And last but not least, Ducks Kraken. Kraken minus 230, Ducks plus 188, over under 5.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Ducks plus 1.5 is minus 132, Kraken minus 1.5 is plus 110. I like the over in that spot. All right, now we'll look at the NIT from yesterday. Only 2 results, obviously. Seton Hall over UNLV, 91-68. And Utah over VCU, 74-54. The quarterfinals will be April 2nd from Hinkle Fieldhouse, which is where Butler plays. All right, CBI. We had the championship for the CBI last night as Seattle beats High Point 77-67 to win the CBI championship. So congrats to Seattle for winning that. And then the CIT we had yesterday as well as Norfolk State beats Purdue Fort Wayne 75-67 to win the CIT championship on their home floor. Purdue Fort Wayne was favored in the game, which was stupid. I thought Norfolk should have been favored at home, and I was right. That was a best bet possibility, but I didn't go there because that could have been Vegas knows. But congrats to Norfolk State on CIT. But now the more important stuff. The Sweet 16. We have 4 games tonight. 2 from LA and 2 from Boston. So it should be really fun. First up, 7 o'clock on CBS from Crypto.com Arena. In the West region, 6 seed Clemson, 2 seed Arizona. My line here is Arizona 8.5, total 153 and 13/20. And it is 7.5 and 152.5. So very close numbers. But I'm going to go slight over. About 7:40 on TBS and True TV, East Region from Boston. 5 seed San Diego State, 1 seed UConn, East Region. Should be a lot of fun. My line is UConn 12 3/4, so 143 and 9/20, and it's 11.5 and 135.5. I like 135.5. Woof! I like the over. I know that total's low because it's San Diego State and it's good defense. About 9:40 on CBS from Crypto.com Arena, West Region, 4 seed Alabama, 1 seed North Carolina. Line's Carolina 6.5, total 161 and 7/10, and it's 4.5 and 173.5. I like the under. That's way too high of a total. Alabama's under hit in the Grand Canyon game. Why can't it hit here? Carolina's not terrible defensively. Like that under a lot. And then approximately 10:10 on TBS and True TV from TD Garden, East Region, 3 seed Illinois, 2 seed Iowa State. Mine's Illinois by 2, total 147 and 2/5. And it's 1.5 in favor of Iowa State, total is 145.5. So, I'm going to go with Illinois plus 1.5 and even money outright. They have the best guy in the court in Terrence Shannon, and there's got to be one underdog that's going to win outright tonight, and I think it's Illinois, and I think that's the easy pick in terms of underdogs to win straight up tonight. All right, Major League Baseball opening day. We've been waiting for this. It's been a long time coming. Unfortunately, there's a couple games that were postponed due to weather, which we'll talk about. So the 2 games that were postponed today were Brewers, Mets, and Braves, Phillies. I think both of those games are supposed to be 1 o'clock games. So the first game is Angels, Orioles from Camden Yards. You know that's going to be an emotional scene, considering the events that took place early Tuesday morning. We've talked about it on the podcast the last couple days. That fan base is going to be fired up. There's going to be a rallying cry going. I picked this team to win its division. They're playing against a bad Angels team with one good player. So they're minus 172 favorites. The Angels are plus 144 over under 7.5. Overs minus 105, unders minus 115. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 150. O's minus 1.5 is plus 125. Pitching matchup is Patrick Sandoval against Corbin Burns. So my pick for this game, over 4.5 Oriole runs, plus 120. 4 o'clock, ESPN Plus, Yankees, Astros. So this is going to be Framber Valdez and Nestor Cortez. Although, it should be Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander, but both those guys are hurt. I think Verlander's hurt. But it's not that. Astros is minus 152. The Yanks are plus 128. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Yanks plus 1.5 is minus 156. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 130. I like the under in this game. I just think that Cortez is going to pitch well and Valdez will pitch well. I think that's just an auto under. Because I'm banking on both Cortez and Valdez to pitch well. Tigers, White Sox. Your pitching matchup is Tariq Skubal and Garrett Crochet. The Tigers are big favorites at Chicago, minus 172. The White Sox are plus 144, over under 7.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Tigers minus 1.5 is minus 104. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 115. People think the White Sox are going to be awful. I actually think that the White Sox can win the game outright. Like, that's absurd. So, I'm going to go with the White Sox on the run line, plus 1.5 at minus 115. Twins, Royals. Pablo Lopez and Cole Ragans. Twins minus 132. The Royals are plus 112, over under 8.5. Overs minus 102, and there's minus 120. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 130. Royals plus 1.5 is minus 156. For this one, I'm going to go over 4.5. Twins runs at plus 104 because I don't trust the Royal bullpen. Pirates, Marlins, so a lot of 4 o'clock games. Mitch Keller, Jesus Luzardo. The Marlins are minus 134. The Pirates are plus 114, over under 7.5. Overs even money, unders minus 122. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 200. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 164. I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Pirates outright at plus 114. Giants, Padres. Logan Webb and Yu Darvish. How about this? This is a pick'em. Minus 108 each way. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 102, and there's minus 120. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 158. Padres plus 1.5 is minus 92. Why are the Giants favored on the run line on the road? And the Padres already have 2 games under the belt. They're 1-1. I'm taking the Padres at home, minus 108. Next up is the Cardinals and the Dodgers from Dodger Stadium. Tyler Glasnow, Miles Mikolas. Dodgers minus 230, Cards plus 190, over under 8.5. Overs minus 122, unders even money. Cards plus 1.5 is minus 105. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 114. For this one, this is a tough one. Glasnow's second start. Dodgers coming back home from Korea. It's the home opener. I think the Cards keep it close. I'm going to take them plus 1.5 at minus 105. If not, they win outright. Next is the Blue Jays and the Rays. So the pitching matchup here is Jose Barrios and Zach Eflin. The Rays are minus 136. The Jays are plus 116, over under 7.5, minus 120 each way. Jays plus 1.5 is minus 196. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 162. This is one of my favorite dogs outright. I'm going with the Blue Jays plus 116. Next up is the Nationals and the Reds. Frankie Montas and Josiah Gray. Reds minus 152. The Nats are plus 128. Over under 9. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 160. Reds minus 1.5 is plus 132. It's the highest over-under I've seen so far. Totals usually are in at 9 on opening day. For this one, I'm going to go under 4.5 Reds runs, minus 111. I like Josiah Gray. I'm not saying the Nats are going to win outright, but I just think that that's an under. I like the full game under too, but the Reds under's very fun. 7:30 on ESPN. You had the Cubs and the Rangers. That's probably Carl Ravitch and David Cohn and Buster and Eduardo Perez. Rangers minus 118. The Cubs are even money, over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Others minus 118 or 115. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 210. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 172. Justin Steele, Nathan Eovaldi, your pitching matchup. I'm going to take the under. 7 o'clock, Guardians, A's. Shane Bieber, Alex Wood. Guardians minus 154, A's plus 130, over under 7.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 120, A's plus 1.5 is minus 134. I'm laying the 1.5 with the Guardians on the run line, plus 112. Red Sox, Mariners. Brian Balo and Luis Castillo. Mariners minus 168. Red Sox plus 142 over under 7.5. Overs minus 102. Unders minus 120. Boston plus 1.5 is minus 56. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 130. For this one, I'm going over 4.5 Mariner runs at plus 122. And last but not least, Rockies, Diamondbacks. Kyle Freeland, Zach Gallen. D-backs minus 220. Rockies plus 184 over under 8.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 111. D-backs minus 1.5 is minus 108. For this one, I'm going to go... I'm going to go full game over. But I don't feel strong about it. All right, now we'll move on to soccer. We will go over the results from yesterday, and we will look ahead a little bit to today. There wasn't much soccer, but we'll get to it. UEFA Women's, Lyon over Benfica 4-1. Lyon advances 6-2 on aggregate. Chelsea Ajax 1-1 draw. Chelsea advances 4-1 on aggregate. And then today at 1:45, you have Barcelona and SK Braun. Barcelona's minus 6,000. SK Braun is 60-1. The draw is 27-1. For this one, I'm going to go under 4.5 goals at minus 108. PSG and BK Hacken. PSG leads 2-1 on aggregate. Barcelona, by the way, 2-1 on aggregate, too. PSG minus 500. Hacken is 9-1. The draw is plus 550. We're going to go under 3.5 goals at minus 102. So that's all the soccer for today. I just want to quickly see if there's some more. USL League One, you have Charlotte Spokane. That's not even on there. But tomorrow, we have everything back. French League One, La Liga, USL. So all the fun stuff's back tomorrow. And we'll do a lot more soccer on the show tomorrow. All right, Survivor. A really fun episode, to say the least. I enjoyed it a lot. In the beginning, they show Yanu talking about how they're the worst tribe in Survivor history. And Q hinted to Kenzie that he wanted out of the game. But it was a hint to make her feel comfortable enough to not play her shot in the dark. And then Nami, Venus, kept watch over Hunter as he searched for an advantage. But he was able to find the re-hidden Beware advantage without her noticing. And then at Sega, Tim thought that Jem was the one who moved the Beware advantage, but she denied it. Alright, the Reward Immunity Challenge, one at a time. The tribe members raced through a 3-tiered obstacle course, collecting bags with keys along the way, one of which they used when all members had finished to release a hook and drop a sack full of sandbags. And afterward, every member used a slingshot to launch sandbags at targets from afar. And the first two tribes to finish won immunity and the large and small pastry and fruit rewards, respectively, while the losing tribe had to forfeit their flint. Nami won yet again, and Yanu finally broke the losing streak and came in second. And then those that were picked to go on a tourney were Hunter, Tim, and Q. and the guys discovered a final six, or they discussed a final six strategy in which they each picked a +1. I know that Q said Tiff, Tim said Maria, and I don't remember who Hunter said. Was it? I don't think it was Liz or Soda. Or Venus. I bet you it was one of the guys. I forget who. Maybe it was Tevin. And then they all agreed on Hunter competing in the challenge, arranging 20 Survivor logos in chronological order within a certain amount of time, but he failed and lost his vote. At Sega, the girls were targeting Ben, and then Jem followed the Beware Advantage's notes to an idol. Her method of convincing Ben and Tim she was on their side only made them distrust her more. Charlie and Maria were in the middle. Charlie was hoping to work with Ben as they had gotten closer, but Maria wanted to work with the girls. But at Tribal, they sided with the men, and Jem was blindsided with the idol in her pocket, and Maria used her extra vote to do it. So that came out of nowhere. But yours truly called it on last week's podcast. I thought people were going to get suspicious of her hiding the idol, and that's what happened. And in result, she goes home with the idol in her pocket. Or I should say the Beware Advantage. She ended up getting the idol right before Tribal, but she was blindsided. And I love blindsides like this, but this is one I called. So I was actually proud of myself for nailing that. Not that I thought it was going to actually happen. There's some seeds planted for it, but I thought that Tim was going to end up going home, but it ended up being obviously Jem. All right, best move of the episode. I want to say the Jem blindside, but at the same time, I don't know if they knew that they flushed the idol. So they did flush the idol. And Maria obviously using the extra vote to get out Jem. So I'm going to say the blindside of Jem was the best move. The worst move was obviously Jem trying to like trying to convince Ben and Tim that she was on their side. Like, you don't do that. And that's part of why she got sent home. Favorite moment was definitely Yanu breaking the losing streak. That was amazing. Q led the way there. And it was so nice to see. And it was pretty cool seeing a different group in Tribal Council. And it was tough for Yanu. And it was really nice to see them come through for once. There's no really worst moment of the episode for me. And that's a good thing. So, superlatives. I'm sticking with Hunter for my win. Even though he lost the vote. I think Maria has a target on her back because she had the extra vote. And made a big move by getting out Jem. So, I'm going to say that Hunter still wins despite losing the vote. I think that he can get away with it. And as long as he doesn't get himself in too much trouble, I think he'll be okay. Next to go home, I'm going to throw a dart here because they obviously dropped the buffs in the next episode. I think it's going to be Mariah. But isn't this the episode? Doesn't 2 go home? Or that might be next week. But if 2 goes home, I think it's going to be potentially Mariah and Liz. But if it's 1, Mariah. Because the preview for next week obviously shows them dropping the Buffs, and then there's hints about some drama between Soda and Liz. And I think Soda has a big personality. Maybe she gets sent home, but I'm going to throw a dart and say Mariah. But if it's 2, I'm going to say Mariah and Liz go home. All right. News and notes. So Masked Singer we'll do tomorrow. So we have some stuff to talk about. So Draymond Green got ejected after arguing with the official after picking up 2 quick texts. And he says he appreciates his dogs holding it down after playing less than 4 minutes. And then Steph Curry was really frustrated. And something I forgot to bring up in terms of the Sixers-Clippers game, James Harden's return to Philly. He got booed. And rightfully so. He asked for a trade, and he got out. And he was because he's going to be considered a bust athlete in Philadelphia. That's just the reality of the situation. LeBron calls out young players as he says, one-on-one mindset bothers the F out of him. Drake made to meet with the Commanders as the GM, the head coach, and the offensive coordinator are to meet with him before the pro day. That's pretty interesting. And Jaden Daniels will only throw at the pro day at LSU. Malik Neighbors think he's WR1 in the draft. I disagree. Rome Odunze not doing pro day. He plans to stand on his performance at the combine. All right, so Daniel Jeremiah, he was a big draft guy. It says J.J. McCarthy's rise in popularity is not a smokescreen. He said that on the Pat McAfee show. I think that's absurd. I'm not a J.J. McCarthy fan. He was a product of Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, I think. Just like Colin Kaepernick was when he was on the Niners. Malik Neighbors met with the Patriots, the Titans, the Jets, and the Jaguars. And he talked to the Cardinals too. And then Jaden Daniels is visiting the Patriots and the Commanders. Brian Daboll is weighing play calling as he's considering taking over the duties, but no decision has been made. Interesting. Louisville finally picks its next head coach. Charleston's Pat Kelsey. I don't hate the hire, but I think they could have done better. But the reality is everyone probably said no. And Pat Kelsey's done a great job at Charleston. Hopefully, I do think he'll be better than Kenny Payne, but I'm not convinced that they're going to be in the tournament right away unless they get some good transfers and recruits. But like I said, is it the best hire? No, but I don't hate the hire either. And here's a hire that is interesting. Looks like Andy Enfield is going to SMU. So that's a big loss for USC. Andy Enfield did a great job there, except this past year where they were bad and had all that talent. But maybe Andy Enfield sensed that he was on the hot seat, so he said, see ya. So the Panthers signed Jadeveon Clowney, 2 years, $24 million. Interesting signing there. Veteran. The Broncos are signing Josh Reynolds, 2 years, $14 million. I don't hate that signing. That's pretty good. The Chiefs signed a rugby star, Louis Rees-Zammit, to play running back wide receiver after impressing team during workout. Steve Belichick trolls his dad. He's now the defensive coordinator at Washington. He was asked between the difference between the two. And he goes, I have a job and he doesn't. That's funny. Shaq roasts Ben Simmons on the big podcast, which isn't surprising. LeBron came back last night against the Grizzlies. Donovan Mitchell may return on Friday due to knee issue and nasal fracture. He was out. Mitchell Robinson came back for the Knicks against the Raptors. He came off the bench, which is crazy. Pat Beverly may miss the rest of the season with right wrist surgery. He had the injury that requires the surgery. And that stinks for the Bucks. Well, good news for the Sixers. Joel Embiid could return in April. It says Nick Nurse says Joel has a very good chance of playing before the regular season ends. That is great news. And then Brendan Clark came back for the Grizzlies against the Lakers after missing a year with an Achilles tear. So here's a weird trade. The Yankees acquire John Birdie from the Marlins. John Cruz goes to Miami, as well as Shane Sasaki of the Rays. And the Rays get catcher Ben Rotvit. A lot of people like this deal for the Yankees. I don't know what to make of it. I'm not a big John Birdie fan. I guess he'll be a bench player for them. I don't hate the deal for the Rays. I like Rotvit. He had a little promise with the Yanks. And the Dodgers give Will Smith a 10-year extension, $140 million. Good for the Dodgers locking up their franchise catcher. Matt McClain has a shoulder injury. He had surgery. His timetable is to be determined. That's not great for Cincy. MLB approves Orioles sale as team owners unanimously approve the Orioles' new ownership group led by David Rubenstein. So that is awesome for the O's that they get that done before the start of the season. Bad news for the U.S. women's national team. Midge Purse has a torn ACL, will miss the Olympics and the rest of the NWSL season. So that's bad news for them. All right, so Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, says ban prop bets as he wants countrywide ban of college prop bets. I hope that doesn't happen. James Harden says he has no relationship with Joel Embiid as he doesn't keep in touch with them. It makes sense. Both those guys are not rays of sunshine as far as I'm concerned. And Embiid loves to troll, but he's no ray of sunshine. And obviously Harden isn't. And then Cooper Flagg wins the Gatorade Player of the Year as he led Montverde Academy to a perfect 30-0 record during the season. And next up for him, Duke. And it looks like Gabe Vincent is coming back for the Lakers over the weekend against the Nets. So that's good news for LA. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. There's a lot of nominees for this. In all the sports. So I guess the total went down because I got it at 218, the Clippers Sixer one, but I was on the wrong end of it. So I'm going to do a 20th of a unit. And I'm going to go I really liked some of those overs for the team totals. My favorite one in terms of team total over There's a couple I really liked. The Orioles. I like the red under. And then I like the over Mariners runs against the Red Sox. And that's where I'm leaning right now. Because I just don't trust the Red Sox pitching, especially their bullpen. I think this could be done in like the 5th inning. So I'm going to go like a 20th of a unit on over 4.5 runs at plus 122 for the Seattle Mariners tonight against the Boston Red Sox. So it's a prop. All right, so there you have it for the show. And I'll be back tomorrow with a big show with the big weekend coming up with the Elite Eight and such. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.